No one in the city could understand why Adrian Blackwood had become the man he was. He was one of the richest businessmen in the country, the owner of luxury hotels, technology companies, and private investments worth billions of dollars. His name appeared in magazines every month, yet no article ever mentioned that he had not smiled in years. After a serious accident left him unable to walk without months of treatment, he was admitted to the most expensive private hospital in the city. His room looked more like a luxury apartment than a hospital suite, but no amount of money could change the darkness that surrounded him. Every doctor treated him with respect, every employee obeyed his orders, and every nurse entered his room with fear. Adrian refused to cooperate with anyone. He rejected meals, ignored medication, and spoke with a coldness that made people want to leave as quickly as possible. He believed kindness was weakness and trusted no one because he had spent his entire life believing that everyone wanted something from him. The hospital staff whispered outside his room every morning, hoping someone else would take the shift. They all knew that caring for Adrian Blackwood meant hours of silence, insults, impossible demands, and endless tension. One Monday morning, a new nurse arrived for her first day at the hospital. Her name was Emily Carter. Unlike most employees, she had not come because of the salary or the hospital's reputation. She became a nurse after spending years caring for her sick mother, who had taught her that people often hide unbearable pain behind anger. Emily believed every patient deserved patience, even when they didn't deserve kindness. While the other nurses nervously looked through their schedules, the head nurse handed Emily a file without saying much. Emily opened it and saw the name Adrian Blackwood. Before she could ask any questions, the room suddenly became quiet. Several nurses exchanged worried glances. One of them softly told her that if she wanted to keep her job, she should ask for another assignment. Another warned her never to argue with Adrian because he enjoyed making people feel powerless. Emily listened carefully but said nothing. She thanked them, picked up the medical tray, and calmly walked toward the private wing where Adrian stayed. The hallway leading to his room was unusually quiet. Security guards stood outside the entrance because Adrian valued his privacy more than anything else. Emily knocked gently before opening the door. Adrian was sitting near the large window, looking at the rain falling over the city skyline. Without turning around, he said in a cold voice, "Leave the medication on the table and get out." Emily stepped inside anyway. She placed the tray beside the bed, checked the medical monitor, and quietly observed his condition. Adrian finally looked at her. His expression was sharp and unreadable. He expected fear, but instead he saw calm eyes that carried neither pity nor intimidation. That irritated him even more. "I don't remember asking for a conversation," Adrian said. Emily answered softly, "You didn't. But I noticed you haven't eaten breakfast." "I didn't ask what you noticed." "I know." Her answer surprised him. Most people immediately apologized whenever he raised his voice. Emily simply continued checking his temperature and blood pressure without reacting to his attitude. Adrian watched her carefully. She moved confidently, as if his wealth meant absolutely nothing to her. "You'll quit like everyone else," he said. Emily looked at him for a moment before replying, "Maybe. But not because you're rich or because you're angry." That sentence stayed in Adrian's mind long after she left the room. Over the next few days, Emily followed the same routine. She never forced long conversations. She never argued when Adrian became difficult. She simply did her work with quiet professionalism. She noticed things the others ignored. He barely slept at night. He spent hours staring at old photographs hidden inside a drawer. Sometimes he clenched his fist whenever his phone rang but refused every call. His expensive watch remained untouched on the bedside table because, despite owning more money than most people could imagine, he no longer cared about time. One evening, Emily entered the room carrying dinner. The meal was untouched again. Instead of asking him to eat, she quietly sat near the window and began writing notes in his medical chart. After several minutes of silence, Adrian finally spoke. "Aren't you going to lecture me about skipping meals?" Emily smiled slightly. "If I lecture you, you'll ignore me. So you've studied my personality already?" "No. I just think lonely people don't like being told what to do." The word lonely echoed through the room. Adrian slowly turned toward her. "You know nothing about me." "You're right," Emily replied. "But sometimes people who push everyone away are the ones hoping someone will stay." For a brief second, Adrian's confident expression disappeared. It was only a moment, but Emily noticed it. Before he could respond, a business call interrupted them. Adrian answered immediately. His voice changed. The calm patient disappeared, replaced by the ruthless businessman everyone feared. He ordered executives around, threatened to cancel contracts, and ended the meeting by firing someone over the phone. When the call ended, silence returned. Emily stood up and quietly placed the dinner tray closer to him. "I'll be back later." As she reached the door, Adrian unexpectedly asked, "Why did you become a nurse?" Emily stopped. "My mother spent years in hospitals before she passed away. Most people remembered her illness. I remember the nurses who treated her like she still mattered. I wanted to become someone who could do the same for others." She left without another word. For the first time in years, Adrian couldn't stop thinking about something other than business. He stared at the untouched dinner before slowly taking his first bite. Outside the room, Emily smiled to herself. It wasn't a victory. It was simply the first crack in a wall that had taken decades to build. The next morning, as Emily reviewed Adrian's medical file, she noticed a sealed envelope marked, "Personal, do not open." Before she could return it to the drawer, an elderly man wearing an expensive suit rushed into the room. The moment he saw the envelope in Emily's hands, his face turned pale, and he whispered, "He must never find out, not yet."